I've been trying to talk about this from the perspective of the big picture. And unfortunately, when
Mm-hmm.
you talk about it from the big picture, people tend to think, oh, you just don't have empathy. You just don't have compassion. You just don't understand
Mm-hmm.
how bad it is. Me, who grew up in drug infested, gang infested South Central LA, born in 1969, grew up during the crack era, grew up during the crack wars, if you will, raised by a single teenage Buddhist mother. I wasn't raised in Christianity, never heard the gospel until I got to to university. And so for people to try to marginalize me because I don't understand, I've been pulled over by the cops. I've been down on the sidewalk because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I know these kinds of things happen. And yet, I still say that these ideologies are poisonous and they have to be confronted because these ideologies actually undermine our message as Christians. I'm concerned about people. I'm concerned about justice. I'm concerned about souls. And I know where this stuff comes from. I understand where it comes from. And I am not willing to lay down my Bible and have anyone force me to agree with certain things simply because if I don't, they will somehow label me and call me names. I couldn't care less about people labeling me and calling me names. I know who I am before God. My conscience is clear. And so
Mm.
I, I'm worried about this like you. I'm also an American who, as an expat in a foreign country, I've been to dozens of countries in the world, and there's two things that I know. Number one, Black people in America are the freest and most prosperous Black people in the world, period, bar none. The second thing is this: people outside of America think that we are the most oppressed people in the world. And people actually think that things like George Floyd are happening every day, that they're not an anomaly, but that they're commonplace. And the reputation has outside of our borders, it sickens me and it saddens me, but also the reputation that Black people have, that somehow we are weak and impotent and that we can't do or be anything unless white people do it for us, which, by the way, is kind of racist. I believe that by race, I am a descendant of some of the strongest people in the history of the world. We overcame slavery. And now we're bowing and scraping like we need somebody to do something for us. Our individuality is at stake. Our self pride is at stake. And our trust in God as the answer and solution to our problems is at stake. And so for me,
I,
this is a very complex issue, but it's one that I'm very passionate about.